Once upon a time in a mountainous area, there was a couple with many children who worked hard all year round on the fields. Growing rice and pruning corn every year is not enough to eat, to the point of eating wild vegetables that Don and number 39 T have time to grow, eating wild bamboo shoots that Don and number 39 T have time to sprout from the ground, clearing 6 or 7 hills but not enough rice or corn to feed our children. To the point that there was no more rice seed left. One day his father went into the forest to visit the trap. When he arrived at the trap site, he saw the trees leaning over and the soil and rocks churning up like a puddle of water for a buffalo to bathe in. He observed closely but did not see any animals. He looked back and forth to discover that his trap arm was broken. He followed the animal and number 39's trail and pulled the trap lever away. From hill to hill, from stream to stream, he walked all day but still could N&39 find it. His stomach was hungry, he was exhausted and could not carry the spear. But he was still determined to track down this beast. He followed the trail to a place deep in the forest, overgrown with trees and leaves, and suddenly the trail was no longer visible. He searched all over that forest, coming to the edge of a grassland just the size of a small field. In the middle of the grassland, there was a bush of wild rice that was ripening like the rice we grew in the field. Counting up and down, counting back and forth, there were only 7 bushes. He quickly took his bag and plucked all 7 rice bushes to fill the bag, and hurried home. Carrying a bag of rice and walking home, I was half happy to have another bag of rice seeds, half worried and thinking in my head, what kind of animal was caught in my trap? On the way home, he picked up a handful of rice, bit into each grain, removed the husk, and chewed to relieve his hunger. He walked slowly home while chewing rice grains. When he got home, it was late at night, his wife and children had gone to bed but the kitchen fire was still dimly lit. Before going to bed, he hung a bag of rice on the pillar of the house and then he went to lie down next to his wife. In the darkness of the dim kitchen fire, suddenly his wife screamed and trembled in fear because she saw his body transformed into a strange animal. He was startled and stood up to blow on the fire. When the fire lit up, she saw that he was still human. It went on like that overnight, and the next morning the wife asked her husband, "Yesterday you came home late from visiting the trap. When you lay next to me, the kitchen fire was dimly lit. I saw your body was very strange. It has white spots and black spots. I Don and number 39 know what it looks like. I and number 39 am so scared." The husband replied, "Why do you talk so strangely? You Don and number 39 always do that. Are you dreaming, or are you sick? Does it hurt? Are you possessed by a demon?" The wife did not know the end of the story, so she ignored the strange story. One day, while the husband was away, the wife accidentally touched the fork to the bag of wild rice, spilling the bag of rice. She picked up each grain and left it behind. Into his pocket, thinking he had asked his neighbor for rice to use as seed. Out of habit, she peeled a few seeds and chewed them. That night, while sleeping, the kitchen fire dimmed at times. The husband looked at his wife again just like what she told him. He panicked and suddenly remembered. That day, when he came back from visiting traps, he chewed that wild rice grain. He pondered and said to his wife, "Let a number 39's go to sleep, Don and number 39 worry about anything, but the wife still doesn't and #39 T know what happened. The next day, the husband was very worried because he saw with his own eyes that his wife was suffering like him. So he told his wife the truth about wild rice brought from the forest, and to see if it was true, the husband discussed with his wife, "Hey, lady, or should I give each of my children a little bit so they can try it to see if it and #39's really like that? If it was really because of wild rice, my grandmother and I would have eaten it anyway, but our children have not. But if we Don and #39 T feed them, only my husband and I will get sick, and they will be left without a father, a mother, and no one to take care of them. If you feed them like me, they will be just like me." So the couple agreed to invite them to the field tomorrow morning and feed them one by one, and lied to them that we were going to prune rice. The next day, early in the morning, the father called each of his children to get up early and go to the field together. Hearing their parents say they were going to prune rice, all the children listened. Some people poked holes in trees, others prepared baskets to hold rice, and the whole family happily pulled together to go to the field. Arriving at the field, the father said to his children, "Today, I and #39 am pruning rice. Don and #39 T put too many rice seeds in the hole. Just put 1 or 2 seeds because this rice variety is very good. If we put in too much, it won't and #39 T be enough to prune our entire field. If there and #39's any left over, we and #39 LL take it home to eat." Listening to their father, all the children followed his father and #39's instructions. At noon, the whole family finished pruning and there was still rice left over. During the break after finishing pruning, the father gave each child a small handful to eat. Listening to his father and #39's instructions, the children quickly followed. Parents also eat, everyone eats together. So the whole family ate. The whole family found it delicious. Everyone commented that it was delicious and fragrant. Returning home, after dinner, the whole family felt normal. The next morning, when they woke up, the whole family looked at each other and everyone had turned into strange animals. The father turns into the biggest male, and the mother turns into a tigress, the older son turns into a tiger or leopard, and the youngest turns into a leopard. So the whole family ate wild rice and turned into animals. They roared loudly in the house and ran riot in the yard. The villagers in the village saw something strange. Everyone was scared and confused, some holding trees, some holding antlers, some holding bows and arrows, some holding pestles to pound rice to chase them out of the village, to the deep forest. And from there, this family of tigers, leopards and leopards are no longer human. They have become ferocious animals in the deep forest, roaring in the forest and chasing small, gentle animals every day to serve as their prey. As for the wild rice, they have already pruned it, but after waiting for many days, it still does not grow on the land where they pruned it. According to the book and quote, Snake Venom and quote, M and #39, non-fairy tale. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.